Hey y'all, let's take a look at fractional part word. Oh man, there's that dirty word again. Let's get rid of that. Word puzzles. How about that? Sounds a little less intimidating. Problems. Yeah. Okay. Make it sound a little fun. Let's go back and do an oldie first though. So 64 is 4/5 of what number? All right. Well, let's just go left to right and turn this sentence into an algebraic equation. Okay. So we'll go 64 is equals 4/5 of means to multiply. What number? Just call it x. Okay. I'm the kind of person, I don't like seeing this stuff on the right. It's like trying to read backwards or something, like like I'm reading backwards. So I'm going to put 4/5 x is equal to 64. Obviously, we know how to clean up this. We just multiply by 5/4. We know we're going to do that. So multiply by 5/4. And x is going to be this. You can, you don't have to know that 64 over 4 goes 16 times. If you just want to go like this, you can go, okay, 2 goes into both of those. That's 32. Oh, this will be 2 as well. Oh, wait a minute. 2 goes into 32 as well. Okay, wait, 2 goes into there 16 times. So x equals 16 times 5. Oh, 10 times 5 is 50. 6 times 5 is 30. 50 plus 30, there you go. X is 80. Now, is this reasonable? 64 is 4/5 of some number. Let's just check it out. Okay, let's say that's 64, and that's 4/5 of some number. We don't know what it is. Could this whole number be 80? Yeah, that's a reasonable answer. If you got less than 80 as your answer, not reasonable. Okay. All right, we're going to slightly change up a little bit. Let's take a look. 5/8 of the gnomes who lived in the magic forest had happy faces. See, Saxon is nothing except for practical anyway. If 840 gnomes had happy faces, how many gnomes lived in the magic forest? Okay. This is, just when you think that math is not practical, you see something like this, and you go, this is the kind of stuff I can use every day. So anyway, all right. So here, if you're a visual learner, which we all are, draw a picture. If you're a nasal learner, use essential oils. Okay. So here's a picture, right? 5/8 of the gnomes had happy faces, all right? So I don't know, is that about 5/8? 840 gnomes had happy faces, so this is it, all right? How many gnomes lived in the magic forest? In other words, we're trying to figure out this whole thing right here. Well, we know that the answer is more than 840, right? We know that, okay? So here's 2 ways to do this. You choose the way, all right? Either you can make an equation out of this. Now, the difference is, look at this. If you go to that and go, 64 is 4/5 of what number? You can go left to right and go, okay, I want to make an equation out of that. Okay, yeah, I now can solve it. What you're going to have to do a little extra on these types is you're going to have to draw a little picture and then make a sentence out of this, and then make the sentence that you had here. You're going to have to make this picture into a sentence, then make the sentence into the equation. Now, there's another way to do this. I'll show you in a second, but you might not want to do that. Okay, let's just say you want to make this sentence. So that what you're asking now is you're saying 840 is 5/8 of some number. Let's say that one more time. 800, after you draw the picture, 840 is 5/8 of some number. Right? That's what the picture says. So let's write it. 840 is 5/8 of, some number, or what? Let's call it what? Well, now we can turn that into an equation, right? 840 is equals 5/8 of means multiply what? There it is, 5/8 x. Let's flip it around like all good-hearted people do. Just go left to right. Now, you know what to do now, right? You just multiply by 8/5, right? So let's do it. 8 over 5, that goes away. And, you don't have to sit there and try to cancel this out or whatever. Let's just go ahead and do 840 times 8 on top, and that will be 6,000. If you do the arithmetic, 6,720, all right? Now we're going to divide by 5 to figure out the answer, okay? Well, 5 into 6 is 1. There's 1 left over. 5 into 17 is 3, and there's 2 left over. 5 into 22 is 4, and there's 2 left over. Okay, 5 into 20, boom, and there we go. And that is the answer. Okay, that's how many live total. Is that a reasonable answer? Well, look, could 1344 be this number? Yep, there we go. By the way, the second way to do this, if you would like, if you don't like messing with all that stuff, you can use the old fraction equals fraction method and just fill in the blanks and make it reasonable, okay? So you have 4 numbers you're going to fill in using this picture, okay? Or you could even say 840 is 5/8 or whatever, okay? You can use this picture, though, to fill in 4 blanks, right? There's 2 of the blanks right there, 5 and 8, right? 5/8. Something is 5/8. Now the question is, you have an 8, the other number is the 840, and the other number, I'll just pretend that's the x still, we don't know what it is. But we know that number we're looking for, based on the drawing, is bigger than 840, right? So the bigger number in this fraction is on the bottom. So to match that, the bigger number here needs to be on the bottom. So you would go like this, 840 over x equals 5/8. Draw the picture. Find out what you're looking for. Either make it into an equation or make it one of those fraction equals fraction and you fill in the blanks. That's all you got to do, okay? This is not a piece of cake and really easy and, oh, I got it right the first time. Don't worry about it. Just keep following the method as slowly as it might take you at first. After a while, it'll start getting faster and faster and then boom, okay. If you can see what happens here now. If you go 5x equals 840 times 8, that's 6720. And look, that's the same really. We're dividing 5 into 6720. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're going to get the same thing. That's the method. So if you didn't quite get that, go back and look at it again. We'll do another one right here. Okay. On Monday, 2 5/8 of the acceptable number of rock badgers took refuge in the mountain caves. If 500 was the acceptable number, how many rock badgers took refuge in the mountain caves on Monday? Okay, there's a good heavy metal band name in there somewhere. Refuge, rock badgers, caves, I don't know. Anyway, okay. So in other words, this is what you're looking at. 500 is the acceptable number for rock badgers to live in the caves. Okay, but on Monday, 2 5/8 of that took refuge. So in other words, this is the 500 is the acceptable. We're looking for something that's like 2 5/8 times that. So it would be a lot bigger. Times 500. In other words, what is the question you're asking? If somebody were to say to you, look, can you break this down for me? I'm getting confused. What number are you looking for? You would say, okay, 500 rock badgers is okay, but wait a minute, 2 5/8. How many were there? You would say, okay, I need to figure out what is 2 5/8 times 500. That's the question you're asking, right? Okay, it's going to be more than 500. So you just, turn this into an equation. Look at it. What x is equals 2 5/8. Blech. Let's make this into a mixed number. So 8 times 2 is 16 plus 5, 21/8 times 500. All right? That's what you do. There it is. You just multiply. So you can reduce if you want to. Yeah, maybe we should reduce. That's 250. Let's just do it by 2's. That's going to be 4. Let's do it again by 2, and that's going to be 125. So let's go over here and go 21 times 125, which will be 2,625. And you're going to divide that by 2? That's weird. Okay, so x is equal to 2,625, and you can just go x into 26 is 13. X into 25 is 12.5. Ugh, that's disgusting. Imagine finding half of a rock badger in a cave, Top half, bottom half, down, anyway. Another heavy metal man name right there for you. So anyway, okay. And again, if you went, oh no, I don't know how to do this. What's this thing? Fine. Just go use a different color. No, you don't have to. And just go, okay, 2 5/8. Well, that's a fraction, right? That's 21/8. So 21 over 8, there's 2 of the numbers out of 4. Look, there's another number. We're just looking for this number here. Like, what is it? Now, the question is, where do you put this? Where do you put the 500 or where do you put the R for rock badgers? Okay, are we looking for a number bigger than 500 or less than 500? And the answer is bigger, right? Well, the bigger number we're looking for is on top of here. So that's what we're going to put right there for rock badgers, and then 500, boom. And you solve the equation by going, okay, 8 times r, 8r, is equal to 21 times 500, that'll be 10,500. And then you just, you'd go on from there and solve the problem. You get the exact same thing. So, okay, that's the method. The method is you have to take this gobbledygook of a little paragraph and go, what am I looking for? Draw a picture to make it look better for yourself. I mean, draw a picture. Then figure out, okay, I can either use fraction equals fraction and fill in 3 of the blanks and then find the 4th one, or you can just go in and find yourself. If you can turn this into an English sentence, you can turn that English sentence into an equation, okay? Listen, if you can turn English sentences into equations, man, you are on top. I mean, you are doing really well. If you're doing half of them right and struggling with the other ones, fine. Are you better off than you were like a month ago, 2 months ago? Then keep going. You'll get it, okay? Problem solving. That's what this is all about, okay? Let's try another one. When the quiz is over, 400 students passed out on the floor. If 240 students did not pass out, what fraction of the students did not pass out? I'm going to underline not, and do that in your book too with pencil, okay? All right, so how many students were there total? 400 of them passed out. 240 of them didn't pass out. So the total is 640, right? So wait a minute. 240 did not pass out. What fraction did not pass out? Okay, so if 240 didn't pass out, what fraction did not pass out? So what you're asking is, and this is the hardest part, so don't worry about it. What the question is you're asking is what fraction of 640, right, the total, is 240. Boop, there we go. That's all. So let's look. What fraction? X of 640. That's of means times. Okay, so times 640 is equals, yoink. There we go. What fraction did not pass out? Okay, well look at that equation. What do we do? You don't have to think about it, right? You just divide by 640, right? There you go. So just divide by 640. Boop, done. Zeros, bloop. Okay, so 24 over 64, you should recognize that both of those are multiples of 8. That's 3 on top, and that's 8. There you go. That's the fraction that did not pass out. Okay, that's all there is to it. Okay, try on page 199 the practice problem, and pause it, and we'll come back. Okay, when the gun sounded, only 2/5 of the racers began to run. The others were shot to death, I guess. Okay, no. All right, so here they are. 2/5 of the racers began to run. If 460 racers began to run, how many racers were there in all? Okay, so you know the number you're looking for is more than 460, right? Okay, so here's the drawing, if you're the drawing type. And I have some lavender oil somewhere if you're the nasal learner. It's around here somewhere. Okay, so here's the drawing, right? It doesn't be pretty. 2/5 of them began to run. Okay, there they are. That means 460 began to run. So this is 460. And it doesn't matter if you put the fraction on the outside or inside, who cares? But that's 2/5, right? The question is, what the heck is this whole big number, right? Now, the English sentence that you can write is what? You got a number, it's 2/5, 460. How do you write that as a sentence? It's okay if you don't know. It'll take a couple of weeks for you to be able to figure this out. But okay, so let's say this, 460, I'll start you this way. 460 is, you tell me, 2/5 of what? That's it. That's your sentence. 460, look at it. 460 is 2/5 of what? Write it. Now turn that into an equation. 460 is 2/5 of multiply what? There you go. And I hate this on the wrong side. 2/5 x equals 460. You know what to do. You multiply by 5/2, right? All right. If you haven't done that, pause it and do it. Okay, I'm assuming you paused and did it. Times 5/2, we don't need them, we know that's x. Okay, 460 over 2, let's just divide that by 2. That's going to be 230. Well, 200 times 5 is 1,000, right? 30 times 5 is 150, so 1,150. Now, is that a reasonable answer? Yeah, because 460 is only a part of that number. Boom, you got it. Okay, now again, if you didn't like that way, you can do it the fraction equals fraction, fraction equals fraction. Okay, now look, there's one number, there's two numbers, there's three numbers, there's four numbers. Put them in there. All right, 2/5, that's a piece of cake. Got it, 2/5. Now the question is, we're looking for a number that's more than more than 460, right? Well, in this fraction, the bigger number is on the bottom, so the bigger number we're looking for should also be on the bottom to match. And there you go. So cross multiply, 2 times x is 2x. 5 times 400 is 2,000. 5 times 60 is 300. So 2 times something is 2,300 divided by 2. 2,000 divided by 2 is 1,000. 300 divided by 2 is 150. Well, lo and behold, look at there. There you go. That's all there is to it. Okay. Look at that method. In fact, if you want to, if you're doing problems in the future, and it says, 62 on the little parentheses in there, and you go, I can't remember how to do this. Go dig this old thing up and look at look at one of the problems, how they're done again, and then you do the same thing. So that should do it. Okay. See you guys next time. Get at least 25 right or so if you can on this problem set, all right? See you all next time.